Okay, abusunya be makwaba shonkoso edeba POG Media so. Abusunya yembonra eye yensem. Eye Chief Justice Torkonoo ne controversies about her removal. Abusunya ensem bebre na epie free mu eba enye asem keto akra. And rather ye de bremo say eye Chief Justice Torkonoo sisi a ono ankasa SU a 5 members committee chese omotena se na omo akana semno na ene ye da sore ya a ballot papers of a council of state eliki amanfo do a omode avoti against the Chief Justice Torkonoo no abusuya ballot papers na eden eliki abusuya Maame na ankasa ye friend Chief Justice Torkonoo no ono ankasa no watu no ho ade so enka eye Council of State and as a 5-member committee a omo ene behwe na omo aka asem no enka eye ahobrase mpo ene nke se obre ho ase but osan so ne omo twene ne da sori ya ballot papers na leak no maame na ankasa apamo no ho a chese ya vote etia no poto maame no ekwa enye asem keto akwant we any breaking news e owa yen so ya de brem abuso yen se momra mom yen ko na yen konkoti ensema ekoso ewo political highway ne so medamase
and they, of course, the MPP as well, even put together press conferences. We've had a number or a barrage of cases just to make sure that some will say in public opinion to frustrate the process. Then somebody will say that lends credence to the fact that this one, it looks like a messenger has been sent to frustrate another process again. What's your own reaction to that?
Thank you very much, and good morning to you and to your listeners. My position on this is known on almost all on this platform. I have said again and again, the Chief Justice is a goner. I have said the process is the weaponization of the judicial system to get the Chief Justice out. I have also said that the Chief Justice is only a means to an end. The end is to get the EC.
What do you mean by weaponization?
Weaponization,
Dr. Zato.
You've used the process and you've made it so strong and so powerful that it cannot stop. So it's gone. I have made those points clear. They're there. But I want to speak directly to the petition, and not just the whole the petition. Specifically, there were people whose names were called in that petition. I don't know the petitioner. I've never met the petitioner. I don't know the petitioner. But the people that were mentioned, I know 2 of them. I know Teddy Osori for over 26 years. I don't
understand. You knowing somebody and allegations made in the petition, has that got to do with whether the incident happened or not?
I've not said that. Okay. I'm still coming.
Okay.
And I've known him not as a client of his because I've never needed a lawyer to go to do this. I know his integrity, I know his experience, and I know his principles. And I am prepared to be a doubting Thomas today, to say on record that, based on the Teddy Osori that I know, this meeting never happened.
Why do you say that?
I want to repeat it again. Again, I know the man.
I'm right.
Personally. And I'm saying that the Teddy Osori that I know, based on his integrity, based on his experience, based on his knowledge and everything about him, he will never put himself under these conditions. His dignity, he has too much to lose to do this, and he will not do this. Tedios has won cases that he doesn't need this. He doesn't need it, and he wouldn't do it. And I can vouch, like Thomas, to say to Jesus, unless I see your hands with the piercings there, I won't believe it.
Which Thomas?
In the Bible. So, we've just finished Easter. So unless and until I can see a video recording, and if you can prove to me that that video recording is not AI generated, then I won't believe it. And I will say again, without any equivocation, without any doubt, that Teddy Osori will not put himself in this position.
Does it mean?
He did not do it.
Does it mean?
Again.
Does it mean? Put Teddy Osori's own comments on his social media page for perspective. Quickly, Brenda. Does it mean that it is a monstrous lie? No such meeting took place. We know those who get justice through negotiation is right by Thaddeus Sorry.
Well, the part about we know those who do, I don't know that part.
But what have been recordings of Godfrey Dame as well as Yoni Kolende allegedly in the Richard Jakpa case?
So I'm making the case. So the first part of him saying that it's a monstrous lie, I agree with him. Again, as I said, unless or until there's any empirical evidence to prove otherwise, I agree with him because that's not whom he is. And he won't do that. He won't descend that low. He won't degenerate that low. No. I also know Justice Yoni Kolende, let me say briefly. And I also know that he will not descend solo to do this. So I can vouch in my own small corner and in my own small area where I sit, and having met this great gentlemen of the land and great gentlemen of their legal professions. Remember, I'm not a student of law and I'm not a lawyer, but having seen them, some of them like Thaddeus, I've seen him closely work, they can never and they will never do this. If tomorrow empirical evidence, irrefutable evidence is brought to road, then I'm prepared. For now, I'll say no, it has never happened. Then again, I move to the case, but I've made a cool process that with regards to the broader case, my position is stated. There are certain things that I want to talk about, I want to state about, especially with regards to the global info analytics issues.
About the perception?
Yes.
53% of Ghanaians say the process is no problem at all.
I'm really surprised.
Why get worried? You are the only doubting Thomas.
I didn't say I'm worried. And secondly, I said I was a doubting Thomas when it came to the two gentlemen. Let's say, when it came to Thaddeus Sorry and Yoni Kolende. I am completely doubting because it never happened too. But when the whole process to remove the Chief Justice, I have said that problem with it. And I'm really surprised that it's only about 53% of people that support it, considering the salacious allegations fed to the public on these issues. Considering how the presidency, the seat of government, has micromanaged this process, especially with the flow of information. That a prima facie has been gotten against this person, yet only 53 or 50% approve it. It's really amazing. Because I would have thought that it should have been a stampede. I would have thought that, considering what has been put out there, it should have been 70 to 80%.
Why should we have 70 to 80% based on your own margins to be supporting?
No, because
in relation to public opinion of Ghanaians, Dr. Zato.
I'm telling you why. Why? Because so far the public has been fed one side.
Who has fed them?
I don't know. But they have been fed, and I'm tell you who fed them.
Dr. Zato, you said the public has been fed. Who feeds them? And then you say you don't know, Dr. Zato.
Somebody fed them. The public. Somebody told the public that when the Council of State voted, they voted 30-1 to find prima facie case. The Council of State operates like what? A conclave. Nobody is supposed to know the deliberations of it. It's supposed to be in camera, right? But all of a sudden, we are told that not only have people seen literally the ballot papers, they know who abstained.
Who told you?
There was news on public news. On
which station is telling you that they've seen the ballot papers of the Council of State, Dr. Zato?
The station that told me that it was voted 30-1.
Which station? Which station, Dr. Zato?
Which station? There was a news.
Are you basing your comments, and mind you, based on your expertise as well and your own political stakeholdership, on public opinion, or you're basing this on fact that this was broadcast on a media platform? It
was broadcast on a media platform that 30 the vote in the conclave.
Which station said that, Dr. Zato?
I'll make it available to you, but can I make my point?
Please do.
That the government officials, government communicators, official government officials and government communicators have communicated that the vote in the Council of State was 30-1. And we're also told that it was the former Chief Justice who abstained from the vote. My question is, how did government communicators get this information when the deliberations inside there were supposed to be secret? Now, if you feed this information to the public, look, this woman has already been found to have a prima facie case in the Council of State, and that based on whatever evidence the Council of State got, there are 31 there who voted. That 30 of them voted to find a prima facie case, but only one voted not to get a facie case. And then you feed this information to the public. That is a slam dunk. So that also goes to support, explain why I'm saying that I'm really surprised that it's only 53%. Secondly, if you look at the allegations against this woman, some of them were very salacious. She traveled with family members. They flew in first class. They flew in premium classes. She paid per diem to family members. If I am sitting somewhere and I don't even know where the airport is. I've never been to the airport, and you tell me that there's a public official flying across the country with public money, and then you ask me is the person guilty? Of course, the person is guilty. So I'm saying that based on this, then I'm surprised that the number is this low. There's also something that I realize. We are told that these deliberations so far are supposed to be in camera. We're not supposed to know what is happening. But something happened. A petition was first sent to President Akuffo on this same Chief Justice. And President Akuffo sent the petition to the Council of State, and they returned with no prima facie case. Akuffo did something. He published that report. He published the view of the Council of State. And it is out there in public. Did he break the law when he did that?
He published what view? There was a letter he appended. Yes, and inherent in that letter is the view of the Council of State, or the position of the Council of State. So it's not exactly the position of a Council of State in a lettering or a notice to the public.
I'm saying in that letter,
because there are differences, right?
In that opinion, we saw how the Council of State or the advice to the people, we saw how they go to know. So we saw how they got to know to say that no prima facie. We saw that. And it is out there in the public sphere. The public can read it, the public can study it.
But the presidency has done same in this instance.
No, so far we haven't seen the report or the letter from the Council of State, stating clearly this is the charge, this is what it is. We haven't seen that, or I haven't seen that. My point is that why can't we do that? Why can't we put more there? Then for like, this woman, so far we've said, is sitting there, it's a sitting duck, and is taking all the charges, and she has no way to speak for herself. She has no way to respond to herself. Politicians and political activists are speaking for her, she's the duck. And then we are only hearing that this is what is happening. So for me, based on all the above, I'm really surprised that it's only 53%. That I wouldn't have been surprised if the figure was higher than that. I wouldn't have been surprised.
You're a member of the MPP. The only 20% of the MPP members.
Again, my argument is that based on the gamut of information that has been fed to the public so far, based on everything there, I'm really, really surprised that's only 53%. I would have thought that it should have been more than that.
What's your percentage again?
I was thinking 50 to 80. Sorry, 70 to 80. 70 to 80. Now, if that would have been a slam dunk.
Okay, so if it was 70 to 80% by way of public opinion, as published by Global, you would have accepted that.
I'm not saying I'm not accepting this. Okay. I'm not rejecting this number.
Okay, but you're surprised.
I'm surprised at it. I'm surprised that it's so low. It's like what saying that Real Madrid has come to play Asante Kotoko and they will struggle to beat them.
Are you equating the subject matter of the Chief Justice, the suspension and the investigation to Real Madrid and Kumasi Asante? Is that what you're doing?
I'm giving an example to understand what I'm saying. That I'm not rejecting the 53%. What I'm rejecting is that I'm saying that it is too. No, it's not.
The two scenarios are the coterminous.
I don't know. I'm just telling you that based on what I have seen, based on what I've heard, I would have expected a higher number. But the fact that the number is still slow like this, I'm surprised.
So look, they're constantly squarely on the corridors of power, the presidency. How do you take this coming from the survey and then also a petition on the decks of the president citing the circumstantial incidents that has been cited in that petition that again question the work credibility of the committee in itself and the whole process?
Well, first of all, let me greet all our viewers. I'm excited that on a day such as this, we want to discuss Chief Justice and matters arising. In fact, let's go beyond what is being speculated now. I want to.
I don't understand. Are you saying we should have chosen a different subject?
I'm saying that it's good we're discussing it now because it couldn't have been any other time better than today. Tadio Sori has responded, and I'm very much excited about his response. And he wrote something, and if you listen to if you read what he wrote, there's a lot of meat in what he wrote.
What did he say?
He said it's a monstrous lie. If you want me to quote
he said it's a monstrous lie?
It's a monstrous lie.
You mean what he wrote on his Facebook
on his Facebook, or in response to that useless petition.
You call the petition useless?
Very useless, and I will address why it's useless. He says that it's a monstrous lie. No such meeting took place. It is very easy to fact check that. We know those who get justice through negotiation.
He says we know what?
Those who get justice through negotiations. And I'm sure in the coming days, we will get to know exactly what he means by that. However, the gentleman called Adenta Kumi, the least said about him, the better.
Is he your friend?
I don't know where he belongs. He's my friend. I know him. I mean,
okay. So what has his person got to do with the petition? But
I am disappointed because this is a young man who claims he was an MPP at a point, picked up even nominations to contest in Adenta. Adenta.
He is MPP. You can't say he claims.
He claims. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Then when the movement for change came, he shifted to movement for change. I don't know when he left movement for change again. He's back in the MPP. Where exactly does he fit in this whole scheme of things? Is he MPP? Is he movement for change? Is he an independent candidate?
He's a citizen of Ghana. That should be outrightly the most important.
For such a person whose credibility is questioned about where he belongs, you think I should be worried about what he says? This is somebody who wants legitimacy with the MPP now.
You say he's not trustworthy? Is that what you're saying?
He cannot be trustworthy. He's not trustworthy. He knows that for a fact, and everybody knows that. This is somebody who is jumping from one party to the other. In the last 2 years or 1 year, he has been in about 4 or 5 parties. So where does he belong? How do we take on your own credibility into vis-a-vis what you're telling us today? You are talking about credibility, that there's a meeting that has gone on. And then he tries to say that it's in Santoku. Do you remember that 2 days before now, or before when he did his petition, the MPP said they are not going to parliament? And that they are going to wait until President dissolve the committee, and that they should stop that of the committee's work before they can go to parliament. Excuse me. I know that Adenta Kumi is struggling to find credibility.
I don't understand. You're saying that this petition is just red herring?
From their own party's constitution, the MPP's own party's constitution. Once you left the party, you are coming back. There's a process. There is a process. So I don't even know whether it's MPP or NDC or whatever it is. So this is a young man struggling for credibility. And we do, the least said about him, the better. We are not going to have time to discuss.
Are you on a tangent of trying to tarnish the messenger instead of looking at the message?
I'm not tarnishing. This is record.
Is that what you have to do?
This is public record. Public record. He's been one time MPP, another time Movement for Change, another time Independent, another time now he's MPP again. Really? This is the person we want to discuss? There are more juicier, more, real issues, credible issues to discuss on our platforms, not Adenta Kumi. Adenta Kumi, please. Now, I am happy that Tedesori has responded. And he has responded in a manner that is very subtle. He has responded in a manner that is very clear, at least to all well-meaning Ghanaians. How do you just get up and write a petition and say, you saw Tedesori one time used to be the lawyer for the Ghana Judicial Service, if you care to know. He's not one of those lawyers by the roadside that are begging, to earn a living or to negotiate a transaction and all that. In any case, the people in the case, the people who are handling the case are 5. The panel is made up of 5 people. You are claiming you saw 2 people out of the panel, including our own Justice Yoni Kulendi. This is somebody that if I were family members to these people, I would have been pushing them to go to court and punish this boy for throwing out that lie of an expose. That you saw people in Santoku restaurant and then they were having discussions. To the extent that he even said that the discussions bordered Santoku.
Santoku?
Yeah. Santoku restaurant. You know where it is?
No.
I think it's somewhere in Laboni. Villaggio, right? Then he claims that he actually heard them discussing the case. Can you imagine?
He didn't say they said the bystanders as well as the witnesses.
So whatever it is, he's placed that in the record. Because if he's invited today to speak to that issue, is he going to be speaking to?
What's your point with that?
My point is that this is a young man struggling for credibility. This is a young man trying to look for acceptance in the MPP. This is a young man trying to please somebody out there. This is a young man who is struggling to understand what is happening even around himself. So I cannot waste our energy time around this time discussing this Adenta Kumi.
You think it's
frivolous
the actions are deliberate?
Sent or, calculated by himself or trying to get public attention and all that. Whatever it is bogus, is useless, is reckless, and I think that is unfounded. And this is not something we want to discuss on a platform like this. Adenta Kumi, I mean, he should come again. We need somebody better to discuss, to have a discourse on some of these issues. If, say, Roland, you go and make some of these allegations or, petition the president, we can have a discussion on that because we can trust your credibility. The messenger is as good as the message. You are saying that I'm trying to tarnish his No, I am not tarnishing his reputation, but I know that the messenger is as good as the message. Adenta Kumi. Yes. He knows that for a fact. You now want to mention all his full name. His name is Adenta Kumi. Alfred Abebio Kumi. And then he calls himself Adenta Kumi. So please, let's not waste our energy on this young man. He has nothing better.
So you rather focus on the public perception, the 53%? Is that what you want to talk about? When Adenta Kumi is raising key issues?
When it comes to law, when it comes to the law, the constitution of our land, it has no relevance what anybody thinks. The law is the law. At least the outgoing Chief Justice tells us the law is the law, or the suspended Chief Justice says the law is the law. He knows nobody. He knows no man. President Mo said that it doesn't matter whose horse is God. If the law has to work, it has to work. It cannot be because the MPP is in opposition today, or they are injured today, or they have lost the elections today. Then suddenly the law has to favor them. When they were taking out people from offices like Domelevo and Co, like Charlotte Osei and Co, and all the others, was the same law that was used? So once the processes are fine and the processes are within the confines of our constitutional provisions, I don't have a problem. I think that we should go the full war. In fact, it is in the interest of the suspended Chief Justice to be interested in this process because you claim innocence, you claim you are not, gullible in any of some of these issues. What it is that then go to the committee, make your case, make it as strongly as you can, present your evidence. If the committee exonerates you, why not? Why not? It's the same law. You will be put back into office and you can continue your work. But to the extent that we are going to be discussing these frivolous allegations by...
Frivolous?
Very frivolous.
Wanda Madilo, very frivolous?
Very frivolous, very pedestrian.
Insinuates or alleges in that petition that he saw a group of people and identifies the perceived justices.
No, in one breath, he says that the Chief Justice, acting Chief Justice, the other one, Adibo, right? And then Yuni Kulendu. He's claiming he saw them and they were spotted. Then in another breath, he's saying that bystanders,
Okay, abusia wene ensema ekoso ewo political highway so aye Chief Justice Torkonoo NHS ne ballot papers elikia enye asemketo akwatisi amame no ono ankasa akwa kopie mokota wesi aye 5 members committee a ehon sensem nso efree echi eba abusia any updates on aye Chief Justice removal and controversies biano yehye mobo se yede bebrem yebedama se moje pene kokoti sa oduwe edemai aha POG Media so edamase